Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about why Microsoft failed in the smartphone market. Microsoft, the giant of the PC world, the company that put a computer on almost every desk that gave us Windows, Office, and shaped the digital era. But here's the irony. When the world shifted to smartphones, the very devices that replaced PCs in our pockets, Microsoft completely failed. How do one of the most powerful tech companies in history lose the biggest technology race of our time? That's the story we are going to unravel today. Let's rewind back to the late 90s and early 2000s. Microsoft wasn't absent from mobile. In fact, it had a head start. Its operating system, Windows Mobile, powered early smartphones from brands like HTC and Samsung. But here's the catch. Microsoft designed these phones like tiny computers. They were clunky, stylus driven, and full of menus. Meanwhile, the average user just wanted something simple and intuitive. Then came 2007. Steve Jobs walked on stage with the iPhone, a single button, a full touchscreen, an app ecosystem. Suddenly, Microsoft's so called smartphones look like relics of the past. By 2010, Microsoft knew it had fallen behind, so it introduced Phone 7. And to be fair, it looked great. The live tiles were fresh, modern, and different from both iOS and Android. Critics actually praised it. But here's the fatal flaw, the app gap. Developers had already flocked to iPhone and Android. And why would they build for a third platform with barely any users? No Instagram, no Snapchat, no trendy apps. Windows Phone felt like a party where nobody showed up. You could buy hardware, but the experience felt empty. Then came Microsoft's boldest and maybe worst move, the Nokia acquisition in 2013. Steve Ballmer, then CEO, decided to spend over $7 billion to buy Nokia's mobile business. On paper, it made sense. Copy Apple's playbook, control the hardware and the software. But reality was cruel. Nokia, once the king of mobile, had already lost his crown. The iPhone had eaten the premium market, Android had taken over everything else. By the time Microsoft joined forces with Nokia, the war was already over. The Lumia phones they launched actually pretty good, solid design, great cameras, but without apps, without momentum, they couldn't win. Just 2 years later, Microsoft had to write off the entire Nokia deal, over $7.6 billion gone, and lay off thousands of employees. One of the costliest failures in tech history. So, why did Microsoft fail? First, it underestimated mobile. It thought PCs would always dominate and that phones were just accessories. Wrong. Phones became the center of our digital lives. Second, the ecosystem problem. Apple and Google didn't just sell devices, they built an empire of apps, services, and developers. Microsoft never solved the app gap. Third, confused branding. Windows Mobile, then Windows Phone, then Windows 10 Mobile, constant rebranding made people lose trust. And finally, timing. By the time Microsoft realized mobile was the future, Apple and Google were already too far ahead. The train had left the station. By 2017, Microsoft officially killed Windows Phone. Today, it doesn't even try to make its own smartphones. Instead, it puts its apps, Outlook, Office, Teams on iPhones and Android devices. Ironically, Microsoft now embraces the platforms it once tries to compete against. It even launched Surface Duo, a foldable phone, but it runs on Android, not on Windows. So, here's the biggest lesson. Even the most powerful companies can fail if they don't adapt. Microsoft's downfall in smartphones proves that size and money don't guarantee success. Timing, vision, and ecosystem matters more. They lost the battle of for our pockets, but they won elsewhere. Cloud computing, enterprise software, and AI. Still, the smartphone failure remains one of the biggest what ifs in tech history. What do you think? Thanks for watching.